Welcome to the Intelight tutorial 117. This tutorial is about TSP, Transit Signal Priority, and how we program it and use it in max time. So we fire up max time and we go to our unit phase status and see what we got running here. Now it's important to be running a pattern. TSP works off of coordination, so we borrow time from one set of splits to push it to another set of splits. And we need to be out of transition because TSP is blocked during transition, and we have an 8-phase quad running. A couple other things to look at, of course, is how we got this controller running. I put the phases in max recall, so that's the worst condition. We got traffic all the way around, and we need to be able to override the detector demand for TSP for the bus. So if it gapped out and we could go there immediately under actuations, we wouldn't need TSP. So certainly we want to go in there. And then we go and we look at our recorded splits. So running a pattern and max recall, all the splits are going to be the same. So we're using 20 seconds every cycle. So now we're going to go down and we're going to program some priority. So we go to controller, priority, and the first thing is we have to make it active. So we have an inactive, active switch, we make it active. And then we need a lockout timer. So we probably want to set that close to the cycle length so we don't disrupt every cycle multiple times. But for test purposes, I had it lower so we can go a little quicker around. Don't have to wait. And then we have 8 different priorities or 8 different directions or signal heads. So I got phase 2 for 1, I got 6 on 2, but I could use 2 and 5, 1 and 6. So what phases do we want to get time to? Those are the dwell phases, the phases we want to extend to get the bus through or shorten the other ones to get back. The last parameter we need is the estimated travel time from the beginning of the leading edge of the detector to get the vehicle to the stop bar. We need to know how far away it is so that we can apply this and push it forward. The descriptions are just an English indicator. And that concludes the priority program, and the rest is down in coordination. So we're going to go to coordination. I happen to be running pattern 1 manually right here. So I go to my parameters, my pattern parameters, and make sure I have an 80-second cycle, which I do right here. I have an offset. I got a split table. I got a sequence. Then I go into the split tables. My splits are 20 seconds each, so I just wanted to keep them easy for math purposes. A coordinated phase, an offset reference phase. But priority is programmed in the last 2 columns. The second to last is a priority minimum split. So I put in 18 there, which is 2 seconds less than the 20-second split I have. Or the 30, which is a plus 10 seconds. So I'm going to try to extend phase 2 to get the bus through, and I'm going to try to take time away from 1, 3, and 4 to get there early if I need to. So all I'm going to do is push a little bit of time. The last and final step is to program some inputs. I need a priority input. It acts like a detector. I am going to go down to cabinet configuration under advanced I/O. So I go to controller, I go to advanced I/O, down a little bit further, I go to cabinet configuration, and I look at my I/O module. So I'm running TS1 cabinet here just on my bench, and I go to my input pins, and I need to pick a priority input 1 and a priority input 2. So when this detector is true, then there's a bus at the intersection requesting service. So I went down and I picked input pin 9 and input pin 13, and I made it a priority check-in detector. I made both of them priority check-in, but the indexes are 1 and 2. So pin 9 will call for bus priority for phase 2, and input pin 13 will call for bus priority for phase 6. Now, besides the inputs, we also have checkout detectors. So we got check-in and check-out. Now, the checkouts are getting real popular with the GPS type priority systems. When the bus gets to the intersection, he has his service and we don't have to use all the dwell time. If he makes it to the intersection early, we don't have to make the full adjustment. So instead of 10 seconds, it might be 5 seconds. Okay, so all we have to do is test this now. We, of course, want to look at our recorded splits. And because they're max recall, they're all 20 seconds for all the phases. Just makes round numbers. Of course, they're not real numbers. We'd have to have the real splits. And then I have the status page. I have the priority status with lockout. But I'm sliding it down so I can look at priority 1 and 2, because those are the two that I have programmed. And the first test is going to be priority 1 on phase 2. And of course, to trigger priority 1, I have to trigger input pin 9, and priority 2 is input 13. So to do this test, I'll probably go back to my phase unit status. And of course, when you're testing this, you have to try at all the different spots, different intervals, and whatnot. But I'm going to do a close-in one. I'm thinking about doing one at the beginning of 1 and 5, just as an example. We're going to do 2 examples. I'll do one way out, which will be in the 3 and 7 phases, and we'll see what the transition looks like. So I'm going to click pin 9, and I'm going to hit apply when I get there. So as you can see, I'm in 4 and 8, and when that times out, I hit the apply button. And we're getting pretty close here, so counting up, got about 10 more seconds or so, and then we'll hit apply, and we will watch our activity. So we're in 1 and 5, we hit apply, scroll down, I got my inputs true, it's active, the service time is going to be in that many seconds, arrival time, and I have no delay, which means he's getting through on the green. So he was right at the point where we didn't have to do an adjustment. The next one we're going to do, we're going to have a major adjustment, and we can watch how all the different phases are adjusted in and out. And we will probably try priority number 2, so bus going in the other direction would be another kind of cool test to do. Okay, so now we're going to run our second test, and this time it's going to be priority number 2, number 6. I want to check and make sure my lockout timer is timed out. I don't have anything running in my status screen. I scroll down, I find pin 13, and I look for 3 and 7. I'm in 3 and 7, so I hit apply, and it takes off and runs. Now notice that priority number 2 is now active, and I have my service time, which basically is saying that the bus is going to be at the stop bar long before I get to phase 6, because I have all the calls. So he's going to be delayed 23 seconds from his green. We can only adjust so much. We count down the service time, and it will expire when we get to phase 6. So 1 and 5 time out. They go a little short. We take, they're 2 seconds away. 6 pops up, we go into lockout, the bus goes through. So we didn't disrupt the cycle, we didn't skip phases, we didn't run on minimums. We gave the bus only a few seconds less delay time. We took 2 seconds away from 4, we took 2 seconds away from 1 and 5. So that's how it works. It's a very soft type priority. So now we can look at the recorded splits and see what we did, what splits went long, what splits went short. We can look at a particular cycle. We can look at this number 4 cycle, and if we draw a circle around it, so we can say, okay, we had a bus priority, and if we look at this guy, we can see that 4 phase 1 is 17, 2 is 30, so we extended to get the bus through in that case, and we subtracted on 3, 4, we extended 6, we subtracted on 7, 8. And of course you could go over to the next one and look at it, see what types of minor adjustments it made. But it's only a couple seconds here, a couple seconds here. But over a long period of time, the bus company saves a lot of gas. And most importantly, we never got out of coordination. We kept the cars moving. So it's a very soft, easy way to do TSP without Thank you for watching this tutorial with me. I hope you found it interesting. TSP bus priority is a very nice feature when you don't disrupt the traffic flow. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you at the next tutorial. Bye.